Hey guys and gals, I got another one for you today. Today I'm in my 13105. I know I've showed you some 1390 games. It's not really recently, but probably more recent than I've excuse me, than I've showed a 13105 game. And I'm on Ghost Town Standard Battle. Honestly, when I was first starting playing, town battles were probably the hardest thing for me to grasp. I mean, there's a lot of things that were hard for me to grasp or that I didn't really care about because I just wanted to fly up the tech trees, get the tier 10s unlocked. Didn't really care about my stats, didn't care. I just wanted to go in there, guns blazing, and if I died, well, then I just blame the team and move on to the next battle. Then I started to learn a little bit more, and I got more strategy involved in my game, and then that kind of progressed. But I still struggled in city matches, and the hardest thing is to keep your gun active, pay attention to the minimap, and be able to out-rotate the red team. If you are isolated, you can get surrounded, and that's what I feel like a lot of times. That was my problem when I first started. So watching this little mini map here, I don't have anyone really going deep into the city. It's more so they were just pushing up the one line. So I'm not going to proceed from where I am. And now that they have tanks showing up, I'm going to get out of there and clip up, and then I'll figure out where I need to stop and relocate. The nice thing about being a scout in the city, I know a lot of people don't like that, is you obviously have like the best mobility out of any tank in the game. So you should be able to out-rotate anyone. It's just a matter of, are your heavies actually engaged, or are they just sitting there, you think they're engaged, and then when you go to flank the enemies, they back up, and the enemies just turn around and destroy you. That's the most frustrating thing to me when I'm a scout in a city match. But if my heavy tanks are brawling and I go flank, generally I can help them out, they can help me out, we work together to move through the city. That's enough about city fighting. Feel free to comment. Well, maybe what was something that you struggled with early. I do kind of want to brush up my what I wish I knew when I first started tanking series. It's overdue, but that series takes a lot of work. So I'm kind of backlogged on games right now, and to start that whole series up again, it's going to take a little while. Alright, so it looks like I'm running away from the fight, and I actually am, because it looks like they're going to push the north, and we do have a lot of tanks up there, or we have enough tanks up there to kind of slow them down. I just think that we're going to lose it in the end. So what I want to do is just make sure that we win the south. If you lose one side of the map, you really want to try to focus on winning the other side of the map. But a scout in a city match, you really don't get the choice to push. So we're down 2 tanks. Scout is starting to rotate what it looks behind, like he's coming in behind me, so I am going to duck out of here, and the reds are tightening it up. So it looks like we've lost 2/3 of the map, but the one thing red team really didn't do very well is they started pushing out into the 1-2 line, and that's probably like the main position where our arty can actually hit them, which is huge because in my opinion, Artie struggles in the city, so if you're going to give him free shots, he's probably really going to appreciate that. Whereas if you get shot in the city, it's a little bit more frustrating because you feel like you're playing Artie safe, and then it already makes you realize that that's not a real thing. That's just a fictional figment of your imagination. Alright, just a quick little shtick on Ghost Town. It is symmetrical map, which is really cool. However, the south gets K3, which is a sniper hill, and for some reason the north doesn't get it in A8. And it really irritates me because they talk about how symmetrical it is, and it should be a fair fight. However, the south gets stuck with generally 2 or 3 people that go up on top of that, and you're already 2 or 3 tanks down because they're sitting on there and they're waiting for people to drive into their guns rather than out rotating the red team in the city, if that makes sense. Alright, so my scout is going to kill their Artie, which I hardly ever prioritize Artie on city matches. I just roll the dice and see if I can get lucky, like I am here. We'll go for a quick shot into the FV215B 183. They got a pair of Death Stars here. They also have a version 4, which is full health. It's pretty terrifying. And I'm reloading. I think the Death Star obviously knows that since I shot my 3 shells. What I was trying to do there is just keep him in position. If I could just keep him there, that means he's not doing anything, and I'm taking his gun out of the game. But he decides not to sit and stare at me. And we're going to see if we can get some shot into the Tortoise. Get our first shot in. Do I dare play against that gun? That is a dangerous gun to play with. And we're going to poke one more time. Looks like he's distracted, and we miss our shot. And is that going to be a killer for us? Alright, so this version 4 is ignoring the scout tank over on the other side of me. And I thought it was because he wanted to go to the side of the map. However, he took a really bad angle on it, and now it does look like that's what his goal is. So I'm going to sit behind him, get loaded just in time. He's trying to crush me up against it, and I get my 3rd shot in, and we're able to squeeze away. But we have to drive out in front of a Tortoise and a Death Star. They are moving forward, so chances of them shooting at me. I mean, the Tortoise, I think, should have probably shot at me. However, the Death Star obviously isn't going to snapshot while I'm on the move. The Rev picks up a huge kill. The Rev on our base picks up the E4 kill, and that is awesome, because for me to go kill an E4 while the Tortoise and the Death Star are still on the map is going to be pretty difficult. So what I'm trying to do here is just get unspotted and try to make distance. It's a city match, so distance isn't the most important thing. I just want to catch them off guard, so I'm trying to just over rotate and hopefully get in behind them. They're going to do a good job of just anticipating moves and pushing. Now, if I remember correctly, this guy turns his mic on and we actually are talking to each other. I mean, we'll see the voices pop up. Yeah, so my voice pops up there. And I tell them, if we head to the south, I think we're going to have their butts. And I'm going to try to get them spotted if he can just kind of just chill. And I'll try to be the decoy so he can get the kills. And right as I'm rotating over here, they are both coming down here. The Death Star missed his shot. He shoots on the move, which is probably my lifesaver. And I thought I had a shot, but there's like this little shed that's next to that apartment building. Now I have 2 shots. Now he decides that he wants to go push in and try to get their side, thinking that they're going to be looking at me, which isn't the worst plan in the world. But he hits the Tortoise. I think he tracks him there. And I'm looking for the Death Star, and then he spots the Death Star right there. So what I want to do is try to get behind one of them without the other one being able to hit me. And to do that, we look for a shot here. Miss the shot into the back of the Death Star's head. Death Star takes out my Rev. I'm spotted, so once again, I'm going to have to try to over-rotate and catch these guys off guard, but they are anticipating my moves very well. So the Death Star is closing the distance. I know I can't turn left here, or I risk getting shot by him. I want to get as tight to the building as I can. That way he has to drive all the way out to the 8 line to spot me. Now I go dark, and now I'm going to backtrack here. I'm hoping that he's pushing up the 7 line. But, of course, the tortoise knows exactly what I'm doing, and he is waiting for me to make this move. Now, we duck behind this dune just in time. But now I know the Death Star is going to be closing in on me, so I have to try to do something. I have to try to get some damage out here and be able to clip up in time before they show up again. Alright, I think he's just waiting for his Death Star. And there I spot the tortoise. Able to get one into his cupola. Able to put the second one in his cupola, shut him down. And now there's just the Death Star, which I figure is probably just about over this hill. And sure enough, he's right there. So we dodge his shell. That was a butt clencher. And since he took his shot, even though he knew I just killed his tortoise, and I was either reloading or I had one shell. Maybe he didn't know I had one shell. But he pretty much lost the game from that kill, or from that shot. He would have struggled anyways to get his gun on me. But shooting that shell really sealed the deal. And the guy, my Rev, congratulates me, says nice game. And that was a lot of sweat, a lot of work trying to over-rotate on those guys. 6,200 damage, 6 kills, 1,500 base XP. The Rev gets 1,356, 2,300. And yes, he was the guy that was sitting on the sniper hill, so he ended up helping me out, and I shouldn't complain about it. However, if he's participating in the match earlier on, maybe we don't get stuck in that situation at the end, is always my thought. I've even said it in games that I've carried. I have a huge game, but I was sitting around doing not much at the beginning. So had I been a little bit more active, then it wouldn't have been a humongous game at the end. But this one, I felt like I was active the whole time. They just did a better job of killing our team, and then I was in cleanup mode. And without that Rev, it would have been a tall order to get through that. Alright, I will quit babbling. Hope you enjoyed. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, and I will catch you in the next video.